Yes, Monal, you can also turn off, ma. Okay, so usually we have discussed. So yesterday we discussed about some basic things, right? So today we will see how we are going to work with this. So let me create one folder here. Okay, let me give a name as count timer. Okay, it should something like the stopwatch. Now I have created a folder, so just go here and open the folder and select the folder which you have created. Select folder. So once you've done, what you need to do, you need to go to the terminal. Here, you need to create one, that is, what is that called as CRA tool, right? Create React app. For that, what we need to do, we need to mention npx create React hyphen app, and the name I'm just giving as count timer. So now the app itself importing some packages inside this folder, inside this count timer. In this place, you can see the installing React DOM, React script with CRA template. Okay. Okay, so it has been installed now, right? The package has been installed. So now we are into this particular folder which you have created before, right? So now in this thing, I need to move to that particular directory, right? So now we have created that is CRA tool. So what is the CRA tool name? Count timer, right? So in this count timer only we are going to create and we are going to run the program. Okay. So here I will mention as count timer. Okay. So now we will start the program. Start the application. So it is running. You can see the local host for the React JS is 3000. Okay, it is done now. So now the next thing is, so here we have, a kind of file. Let me increase this. So how the manipulation is going on, that has been given here. So actually this is done using use state, use ref, use effect. So we'll see this later. So as of now, I will tell you how to execute this. Okay. So copy this particular file. So whatever the applications or whatever the program you are going to do, just go to the src file folder. Inside this app.js, you need to run this program. So you can see it is counting. The counter is started. So when it becomes zeros, again you need to give reset options against counting the values. Okay. So now so these are the manipulations. So we'll see this later. So now the next part is how to create the sample PDFs. Okay. So sample PDF is nothing but I want to zoom the sample PDF file using React JS. So how we can do this? First, actually, you need to download some sample PDF file from the internet. So I'm downloading this file. So here I will create one more folder, or I'll make it in the same folder itself. It's not a problem. So whatever the folder, so whatever the PDF I'm downloading now, I'm going to zoom out. Okay. I will give some sample values for it. So I'm downloading this file and let me save it in the counter timer in SRC folder. Okay. In SRC folder, I'm saving this file. So after doing this, so if you go and check, see here in the counter timer, what I have downloaded here, the sample file. So it is there. Sorry, one second. Let me delete it. Okay, let me take this. I'll cut this one, copy this, and paste it in the React project counter timer in SRC file. I'm just pasting it. Okay. So now I have a PDF file. I'm going to zoom in, right? So how I can zoom in? So now we will check this notes, how we will do this. Okay. So everyone has to complete this assignment. So just try it. It's a very simple exercise. Okay. For this React PDF, again, we have some packages for each and everything I told you, right? Some different packages will be imported. So now for this one, we'll go to this npm node package manager and type React PDF. So here we have display the PDF in your React app easily as if they were images. If there is some images also, it will be clearly zooming other things. So for that purpose, we are using this particular package. So if you click on search, you can see this, select this react.pdf, that is hyphen PDF. So to install this React PDF, so it is already not predefined, right? So what we need to do here, uh, here you need to give it as npm. I means install. Okay, from npm we are installing what? React hyphen PDF. Just click on install. So it is installing. Okay, it is installed very quickly. So now we will see the next process. So what we need to do. Okay. So to create, to use this particular, PDF Zoom things, I need two important things. Okay. So one is you need to mention the attribute as scale, and you need to use the element called page. Okay, this is very, very important. And the one more thing, it is called as a page number. So the scale is nothing but if I'm giving a less values, for example, I'm giving as 1, it will be in the normal level. If I'm just giving as 2.0, it will be considered as a 200 percentage. Okay, so like this, it will be showing. So first we'll see the simple code. First, we need to import React from React. Okay, and the second thing is you need to import two important things. That is element which you are going to use it here. So what are the things you are going to use? Document and the page. So from where you are getting this? I'm getting it from React PDF. So it is exactly in this path. Okay. So let me check. We'll check here whether it has been imported. Yeah. So if you go here into this React PDF, see here where it is exactly the documents and pages. Dist in this dead. So it is in the ESM. And yeah, so here we have a pages, right? So like this will be that is having a different things. So wait a minute. Entry webpack dot, that is JS. Okay, so here we have these two document and pages. So first thing is we need to import the sample PDF. Okay, so here we will mention, you will import the PDF file from whatever the file name, you need to mention it here, and defining your own components. Okay, here we will be defining it as our own components. So in this particular place, this is not the class component, it is not a functional component, this is different one. Okay, so we'll see this later. So this is actually we are using arrow. So arrow is a ES6 curve. So let me show you. So this is nothing but an arrow functions which we are using. So this one we are using it here. Okay, so if you go and check, so this is we don't want to, here in arrow function we don't want to mention any function name. So directly we can use the arrow function instead of giving a function name here. And then in this particular place, we are using a JSX code. Okay. So inside this DAV container, I have a document. So the file is, what type of file it is? It is a PDF file. And the page should be the scale of 2.0. And the page number is first page number. If I want to use a second page number, you need to mention that. And exporting is, so now you need to copy this and put it in the React.js, sorry, that is app.js file. Just close this off, go to app.js file. So now we'll run the program. So see here, Ma. So what is the zoom level? You can see it here. It is in 200, right? So let me change the scale value. Let me take it as 1. So see here, the 1 will be like this. If I'm decreasing it to some 0.5, this will be in a 50 percentage. Okay, so like this it will be displayed. Clear? So this is a simple example of how we can zoom in and zoom out the PDF files. Okay. So next we'll see how to create a form. So we already know how to create a form using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap also we know, right? We already have a template, so we'll just use that particular predefined classes and we will use it. So in React.js also we are creating a forms. So you can also try it using React.js. So here I'll be having some two different files. So one is called as piece of files. So app.js file. Here it is called as app.css file. So whatever customization if you want to do, you can do it over there. Okay. So this is called a use state. So we'll learn about this today. Okay. I'll explain you what it is. As of now, so first we'll go through that and then we'll move on to this coding. Once again. Not events. Okay, my better I can explain it here itself. Yeah. So before getting into this, first you should know what is use state. Okay. So use state is nothing but this term it is called as a hook. Okay. So in React we'll call this one as a hook. So actually this allows us to state the variable in our functional components. So previously we cannot able to do it right. We cannot able to create a state variables in functional components, but we can do it in the class components. Example, what I'm trying to say is in class components, what we can do, we have created like variable a is equals to whatever the font properties like font size colon some like of 90. So we have created some state variables, right? But in a functional components we cannot do anything. In functional components we have not created any kind of what state variables. So here, so React has two types of components. The first one is called as a class components. This class component is entirely ES6 classes. So that extends from the what? React. Okay. And the second one, it is called as what? Functional components. You already know how to create the functional component. So in this functional component and the class component. So class to the components, will have a state and life cycle method. Okay, so the message is also uh, is extended using React. So use state hook is a special function, so which actually takes the initial state as an argument and return it's an in. So we'll see what is the syntax to use this. Okay, the syntax is nothing but the first element is the initial state. Okay, whatever the first element you are going to create, so that's going to be initial state. And the second one is a function used to update the state. Okay, so like this you can create const, you need to mention within the square brackets, and you need to give us used state as a initial. Then this constant will give us a state and set state. Clear? So like this you'll be doing it. So how we can pass the values and how we can execute the things. Okay, so example is, see here, we use a constant variable, that is a keyword, and inside this we'll be giving example. My variable name, right, variable name is sum, and the method name is set sum. Okay, so I'm going to make this to be a use state, and here itself what I will do, I will be giving what is a function is all about. Example, the function is, I'm getting a random values. Okay, so random method of this. So I will be calculating like 5 equals to, within this curly brace itself, you need to mention. Okay. Okay, so here in the random method, so what we will do is inside this curly braces, okay, in the square brackets, we'll give some initializations, like, so what is the calculations or what is the method is all about. Okay, so this is the basic example we'll do. Okay, and the next thing is to use the use state. Okay, if I want to use this use state in my coding, so what I need to do is I need to import one particular package that is called as import react comma, so the same thing whatever here we have, so this one we need to import it, otherwise it will not work. Clear? So the next thing is, again, the use state is actually a built-in function which is comes from the React library. We'll go and check. So use state, right? It is somewhere here. Okay. Exactly. Okay, we'll check this. Okay. So actually it is under this particular package. So we are importing this use state from React. Okay. And also to import, use state from React also possible. So it is only used inside the functional components. And one more thing is this entirely this use states only works for what? Functional components only. We cannot use this on only it will not work with any other class components or anything like that. Okay. So this is the main purpose why we are using this. Okay. So We can also see some basic examples how we can handle this. So let me create one simple example and then we'll move on to the another examples which we have. Okay. So let me get into the app.js file. Here, let me delete all these. So first what we need to do, we need to import, right? So import React use state from what? From React. Okay. So now you can give this or you can go with okay. So after this, here we will be giving up functions. I'm going to create some functions. So the function name is why it is showing as an error. Okay, we'll complete it and we'll check class. Okay, so here I'm creating a function name with some probs. Okay, so the probs is I'm giving a name as a probs itself. Within this curly brace, I'm creating constant. The first one is count. The another one I'll be setting as sets random counts. It is showing like this. So we'll see the basic process. If we get error also, don't worry, we'll rectify. So what is the next step I told? You need to use state. So this will only works with what? Functional component. So here I'm going to create a function. So function gets random integer. I'm going to return some value here. So return math dots. Math is a class. So inside that I have a method called flow method. So you might have read in this JavaScript, right? The same thing. So here inside this I need for which one I need a flow value for the math.random. So whatever the random value we are getting, I need it as a flow value. Okay. So into 200. Like this, we have created. So no, we don't have any error. Next, again, I'm creating one more function without any that is a value like props. So function click handler. Okay, this is my method name. Inside this, instead of props, I'm giving a variable name as e. Okay, so you can give whatever the name you want in this particular parameter value. So in this function, I'm giving a method name as set random count. So this is my method name. Inside this also, I'm going to create, that is, I'm going to fetch the details of the math values. Okay, so math dots, flow dots, math dot random of into 200. Clear? So after creating these two functions, this is using a use state and this is a normal function. Okay, so this is a normal functional components and this one is a use state one, that is hooks concept. So now using this return method, I'm going to print the values. So let's check how it will work. Here I will give it as a return method, that is a return. What are the values it's going to return now? Yeah, first I will create a container, div container. Okay, so inside this div container, I'll give some style. So what is attribute? Here I will be mentioning as a style. Let me give it as margin. It's going to be auto. And the width is going to be 100. And the screen is going to be a lock state. Once again. So there is other theory. Close this one. Okay, so in between this, I'm sorry, actually, this is a method we already know this. Let us make this as semicolon. Okay, and so we have created this function, right? So this one, for this, you need to close it at the end here. So now, the next one is I need a heading. So heading, I'm just getting the value of count. Count is actually the one more different, the elements which we need. Check. And again, I need a paragraph. Okay, so inside this paragraph, I'm creating a button. So what is the button name? The attribute is on click. So it should be in a camel case. On click, handler. So giving a name for this button as click. So here, you need to mention it's come. Yes, if we have closed the button and the TIV container, and we have closed this as well. Error is showing up. Written is outside of this function. Let me check the curly braces. Actually, this is a method. Okay. And here we are not using curly brace. So we are not yet completed. We have not closed the function yet. In this place, we are closing this return. This view state has been closed in this particular place. Okay. So next thing is still the showing from here. Okay, some error is throwing up. Check me. As a variable name we have given set random count. We'll run this and we'll check. So what is the error? In which line it is error? Index.js. Okay. I've not exported this. So export default. Again, what is the error? So here we got a click button. So actually the error has been resolved. So the screen is locked. Let's check whether we'll remove this. Okay, as of now we can see a button, right? So the next step is we'll see some events also. So before that, we'll run this basic format. And one more example I have. So this is a basic example of how we create a normal that is using hooks and the normal uh, functional component. Okay, and how we are explicitly using it. So now the same thing. So we'll keep the import React use. Instead of this, I'll directly use a use state alone. Okay, so let's check so how it works. So I'm giving us import use state from React. Okay, instead of this, yes, I think we can. We'll see some events also. So before that, we'll see this basic examples how we can work with this in real time. Give me a second. So this is a way how they have created. See here, let me explain you. First thing is they have created a function app of method, and here we have two things. That is name set name and age set age and email set email, and everything we have mentioned here with the use state. Okay, so if you come down here, for each and everything they have used the arrow function. They are not creating any function. That is the reason they have not mentioned any use state. In a previous example, what we done, so we so see here in this example. So in this use state, we have mentioned the function because we are using a function name. But here, I'm not going to use any function name. So directly what I'm giving, I'm just passing the probs alone. I'm not giving any kind of function name. Okay. So I'm setting the name. So e target value and whatever the values we are getting, just we are getting that informations alone. Okay. So this is like a kind of JavaScript, and it is validating here in this part. And then here only we are creating what? The elements. The form part is goes here. Actually, I'm got it from some particular website. So you need to mention form on submit what the probs it is throwing. You need to initialize this, and we can whatever the same thing how you do it in HTML and see the same thing, but here we'll be implementing in a different way. So there we will give it as a what name itself, but here we'll be using a curly braces. Within that only we'll be mentioning. Okay, and the required thing is what? So this is entirely my ES6 concept. So if you are not clear with this, you have to refer that ES6 before getting into React.js. Okay, and then how to handle these things. So first, copy this. Put in the app.js. So here it is showing some error. Let me check. So if you have any file that is images, just you can I've saved some images, but I don't know where it is. Okay, let me take any one images. The picture itself I'll be taking. Okay, let me take this logo itself. Okay, so let me copy this. And what is the folder we are using? Count timer, right? So let me paste it in the count timer. So now yeah, so this one, let me copy this. Okay, so there is some error, right? So we'll rectify it. Actually, this arrow mark is error. Okay, so there is no error as of now. So the next thing is I'm going to give some customized CSS for this. So let me go here and add app dot. So just copy this kind of things and put it in. It's not this one. Let me delete this. So this and all, everything is a customized. Whatever you need, you can change accordingly. Okay. So app JS we already know. So the same thing CSS file is the same thing, but when you are using app.js only, you need to be very careful what you are using. So whether you are using hooks concept or functional components or the condition that is class components or it is a JSX file. So whatever it may be, you should be very that is you should have understanding of these things. Okay. So let's run this. Hope we. Okay, I think the image is not displayed. Why? It is in the same folder only. You will see this one. So like this, you will be getting some forms, and this form is a validating form. Okay. And the next one, the last one we'll see, and then we'll wind up. Okay. So please be connected. So we'll see about events. Okay. So how we can use and work with events. So we'll see some basic example and then we'll wind up. Okay. So give me 1 minute. Sorry guys. So events will complete the events alone. So React events. So whatever we are doing in JavaScript, the same thing. Here also we'll call it as an event. Okay. But here it will be in a different way. That is like a syntax differs. Okay. So the same process is same, but the syntax differs. So let's check how we can do it. So we already know the event is nothing but it's an action that could be triggered as a result of user action. Whatever the user is giving, the input to the front end. So it's going to be, triggered and it will give some action for it, right? So for example, there is a mouse click, loading of web pages, pressing a key, Windows resizes, and other instructions are called events. So React has its own event handling system, which is very similar to handling events. Okay, and DOM elements. Let's so in a React events are named as a camel case instead of lowercase. Uh, Here the events will be mentioned in a camel case. See here. So previously in HTML, that is in JavaScript and all, what we will mention, we'll give it as a on click as a lowercase, right? But here you need to mention the thing as in a camel case. So on, and the click will be the first character will be in the capital letter. Okay. So the button, how we will create? So we'll create a button and whatever the function name we will give it, and the button name. Okay. In between the open and the close tab, we'll give the button name. So now we will come into this particular thing. So here also we have something called as a constructor, because I'm going to use a class component. The class component name is app and it's going to extend with the react dot component. So in this constructor props, there is something called super and there is super props. So why we are using super? So if it is a constructor, definitely we'll use this method called as a super method in React JS. Okay, clear? We are using a constructed method, that is construct is similar to one the normal method which you are creating, but the difference is it will invoke the object easily. Okay, so that is a difference. So here, if you are using a constructor, the main important thing is you need to use a super method also. So if you want to get, if you want to create some, statement variable, if you create a constructor, then you need to mention this keyword dot state. Clear? So these are the three steps you need to follow if you are using a constructor. So the first thing was you need to mention a constructor thing, and then second one is you need to mention the super that is method, and the third one is you need to use this dot state. Okay, and the company name. And here comes your method name like change text and what is the event you are going to specify. So here also you are trying to fetch the details, right, for this company name. For that purpose, what we will do is, so here we will, that is in the form, we will be giving some values, right, that will execute in this particular method. Okay, so to simply understand, so just come to this return. So we already know for a class we will use the return method and return method, right? So in this DUV container, I'm just giving us a simple event example, and label whatever you want to give. You can specify. The input type is text and the ID is what? The class name is the ID. And what is the event you are going to give? On change event. Okay, so in on change event, we'll use this bind method. So if you are using this set state, definitely use this bind method to call the particular state. Okay, for that purpose, we are using this bind. Okay, so you are going to get this particular event here. For that purpose, what we have used this keyword in change text and the bind method. Okay, and finally, we are going to print this value. Whatever we are typing it in the text field, it will be displaying here. So let's check so how it works. I'll be sharing this code with you. Okay. So please try it from your end. You need to run it again. I'm typing like unit foundation. So whatever I type here, it is showing in this place. Okay. So this is a simple event so which we can use. You can also try the other events. Let me give some example for that. Just try it from your end. Okay. So whatever the events we have come across, the same thing here also will call it as some synthetic events or their clipboard events. So on key up, on key down. So these are the some methods we are using. So on focus. So on focus means it will be a little change, right? So and for on blur, for each and everything they have given some simple examples, guys. What is your next assignment is? Well, coming on Friday. So tomorrow you are having some different session. That is to 6 to 8. I think it is a aptitude test session, or I don't know what is exactly. So I'll tell you in the WhatsApp group. So you will be having that session tomorrow. So while coming on Friday, please try to execute this React code and send me the screenshot in the WhatsApp group. Don't send it personally. Okay, so send it in the WhatsApp group. So try these events on your own. Okay, let me create a folder for this, whatever the examples I have. Give me a minute. So today we have executed some basic examples, right, on React.js project. Mm, So let me share it. So maybe I'll be making it as an extract file. So guys, just run and execute on your PC and send me the screenshot. I hope everyone given your attendance in the
Ma'am, it's
chat.
not working, ma'am. Short box.
Yes, yes. Tell me the names alone, ma.
Subanka.
Shubhanka, and then
Sushma PN, ma'am.
Sushma.
Sushma PN.
Okay, and who else?
Pallavi.
Pallavi. And one more student is there. It starts with yes.
Monal S.
Monal. Sujata, I think. What is her name? I forgot her name. Sajita, I think. Okay, let me note down and mark present for you guys. Okay.